Today on this episode of Scratch to Scratch, where I start from scratch, completely nothing, to try to become a scratch golfer by every means possible, we're going to be working on the lower body. We're going to understand how the weight of our feet is going to be for prime shots, and we're going to even have some tidbits about the backswing in order to get you more consistent. We are back here in LA with the legendary coach Rick Sessenhaus to go all over that. And so, with that, come on, let's get into it.
You know, it's like, if I'm in a good position here, which you are,
Yeah.
and I turn and turn and turn, there's not much I've had to do, right? But if some people go, I have to get to here, and they're using their arms and hands separately, to me, I'm not a big fan of that. That's me, okay? I can't just go here and then go here. Tour pros don't do that. I mean, the lower body is moving first.
Yeah.
It's feeling real. It's the exaggeration of those things that come into play, okay? So we'll start with a very basic drill here, and I did this one before, and you went, how the heck did you just do that? We're going to do a preset at that delivery position. So we're going to go to here and hold, and then I'm just going to turn. Okay, I didn't hit it with my hands. I just turned. So go down to delivery right there. Perfect. Now all you're going to do to be able to hit this ball is turn that. Just turn. Okay, club will get there. It will. I want to build the swing on sequencing and proper body mechanics. Okay? So let's do one more time where I'm going to take you, let's go to the top of the swing and hold. And I'm keeping this as that's one structure, right? And then if I take it on the way down and I say that's another structure, not a lot of hand action, okay? And they say, yeah, but Rick, the club's way over here. And yeah, but eventually, you'll turn, and there'll be enough of the force that club will come down on its own. But back to when you first started the game, and this is for everybody who's starting the game, the natural instinct is to want to hit, which is I'm going to hit something, which is chest and arms and shoulders, and boom, and we're taking you to swing the club, which is a different thing. Beautiful. You have an advantage here where we don't need a long golf swing to create speed. You have explosive speed, you're strong, you're flexible. So we're gonna be monitoring how far back we go, and can you still control that, right? Like, I like the length of the swing right now. We don't need to go more. Okay. So with what we're just focusing on, did you feel like you accomplished that first question you had for me, keeping it in front of you?
The 45,
Great.
It's like this.
Got it, okay.
So,
no, but I think for you, concepts are important for you to understand.
That's what
Then it's easier to go, and then there's like this aha moment. You go, oh, and then it becomes one motion. I think we're almost there. So it's the straight back and the 45-degree angle. Those would be technical terms. Okay, just give yourself a grade on the backswing.
I think that felt like getting the 45 without using my hands, which is just like a stretch here.
Beautiful. Do it again. Okay, whatever the ball does, it does. Did you feel like you accomplished the backswing? Great. So now we have the visual. Again, you don't have to do this on every single swing. I've told you this. Maybe every 6th to 8th swing, you take a peek at it, right? Does that look like everything's kind of from here to here rotating? It does, right? You can see the microphone moving back. You can see right shoulder moving behind you. I know you're looking ahead. You always do. But just for backswing, the technical of, okay, hand straight back, 45, or can it be feel? Can it be a stretch? Can it be, or, I mean, I guess we could blend them, but.
Right now with that new edition, I feel the stretch. Like, I have to feel that stretch here. And right here. I know what 45 is for just like angle wise, but
right. So that's 0, right? So show me 45. Right. So that arm is 45 degrees across. So push it that way a little more. There we go. So that's 0, 45, right? Obviously, if we start getting to 60, this would be deep, right? And if we didn't get across our chest at all, the arm would be going up a little bit too much.
This much,
Exactly, right? So that's why this rotation is so important for you, okay? It's not just, oh, put my arms in a position. How we get to that position is crucial. Okay, so from this view, though, it's going to look a little different in that we want to see how you turn, right? you'll notice the shoulders are moving. I mean, they are turning. Your spine is turning. You're rotating around the spine. But I wanted you to see from both angles what the backswing looks like, right? So from front, I'm just going to turn clubs here, right? Here was a little bit more of that 45-degree across your chest. But both of them, I hope, just has the same feel, right? It's here and here, and
yeah, I could definitely. It just feels the same for the stretches. Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now you had some questions off camera, still about lower body, right? So I think this is an important time for us to address those because I think you're super close to it.
Yeah.
So let's just keep refining it.
Okay.
There is wonderful technology out there now with ground force technology, right? And being able to see how our weight goes from right side, left side, how it rotates, how you launch, all these type of cool things, right?
Yep.
I am not an expert at that, but I know enough to understand that depending on if you want to be a long drive champion or if you want to be scratch, there might be a different pattern that would be down there. And I'm going to use the more conservative pattern with you, okay? And that pattern starts with setup. So I'm going to have you set up, and we're going to do some slow motion here. For right now, this conservative pattern, I want, we have a 7-iron in our hand, 50-50 right to left, 50-50 toe to heel. Conservative pattern, right? Yep. I can't push you either way. Now, as we make a backswing, we've just been working a lot on our 3/4 backswing. That weight, which started here, is now shifting more into here.
Yep.
Okay. Why? Well, the hip rotated around you. There's some force in here and here. Now, will you feel a little bit of stretch here? Of course you will.
Yeah.
We just never want it to be outside that. We're going to be in trouble. I like it here, not here for sure.
Yeah.
Now, as you make the transition, this is where it gets interesting. I want you to imagine that this weight goes from here to here to here. It's like a little arc, okay? So we would now go from heel to instep to heel, right? It kind of goes that way, all right? Now again, why would that occur? Well, the hips have rotated. Where does the weight go? Whoop, heel.
Yeah.
Now if I really go lateral a lot with my hips, it might get you over here more, okay? I want it a little bit more on, like I said, the conservative of inside right heel, inside left heel, inside right heel, inside left heel, okay?
Okay.
Just to emphasize the rotation part of it.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
So if it's from here to here, a semicircle, that kind of means it's slightly initiated from the right foot?
It could, or I could say, hey, I need this to go that way.
Oh, okay.
So they're all connected, right? If you want to be more right side dominant, that's fine. I have some people who feel like they're pulling from the left butt cheek.
Yeah.
Achieve the same goal, right?
And so the knees, when it's kind of doing that, it's kind of also doing that arc where it's here and then
a little bit, yeah. It's gonna. I mean, it's not gonna go completely like this. It's got to move a little bit this way before it moves here. But we don't want it to move this way, obviously. Now my whole body is shifted this way.
Yeah.
You'll have a lot of people who are doing a lot of flat foot stuff now to try to really stay grounded longer. That's fine for us maybe down the road.
Sure.
To really feel like I keep ground. But I'm trying to free you up because you haven't used your lower body before in this. So I'm freeing this up to go that way and encouraging you that it's okay to come off that instep and then get into the left heel and then outside the left heel.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ultimately, yes, we're creating power and speed and all that stuff, but we have to be in balance too.
Yeah.
This is not us coming out of our shoes on a 7-iron because if we hit the 7-iron and miss the green, we're not scoring.
Yeah.
Driver is different. I understand everybody on camera. I understand people are coming out of their shoes because you got a wider area to go. I get that. We'll get down to it later.
Yeah.
Right now, we want to hit the center of the face. We want to hit the green and go from there. And I'd rather us hit it solid and be able to repeat the balance of it as we go, okay? So this is where I'm going to let you do 3 or 4 on your own.
Sure.
Experiment, feel it. What it's like to go from inside right heel to inside left heel. How do we do that? Experiment, okay?
Okay. I think I need to go slower. I went a little on my toe there.
Okay. And that's a good point. You certainly can do slow motion. You can then do 25% speed, 50% speed. I just need you to have a focal cue, right? Am I focusing on here? Am I, and if the slower the better at first, and then we build up the confidence with that. Okay. Any feedback?
It felt like it went from here, and it was coming out almost, and then went here rather than just the semi.
Right. So from this angle, go here, and I think we're pretty stable on the back foot. I don't see the right foot moving around too much. And then as you make this transition, notice the left toe, the forward foot.
Yeah.
Toes come off, right? So that means the weight is going in step to the heel. So that's a good thing. Pushing off right foot. So I think you're going to feel some pressure into the balls of the feet, of course, on that right foot. Again, without measuring it, it wasn't like we can immediately tell if somebody goes like this. We can immediately tell if somebody gets into the left toe or this foot. I've actually seen people, their heel comes off the ground. There's so much this way, right?
Okay.
So you got into this foot pretty good because this foot came off. This part of the foot came off.
Yeah.
That's a good sign for us as we keep going, okay? Gotcha. You may feel, oh, it's on my toe. It's like, I don't know if I would put it toe. I would put it on balls of feet.
Oh, okay. So
that's okay.
This is fine. We're
going to be okay with that because that's kind of like in-step balls of feet. It's like a pitcher on the mound. They're pushing off the mound there, right? Okay. We wouldn't have them do this. Yeah. But it's boom, right, as we go.
Yeah,
okay?
So that feels, is the big toe like right?
Yes, yes, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to, again, I would not call that you went on your toes. I would say that you went from the balls of the feet in a good way.
In regards to like dissociation, I know we want to dissociate this way. Do we also want to dissociate this way?
All right, we're getting into long drive territory here, aren't we? Okay, so go back to the top and explain that to me.
Rather than kind of having this going together, it's like this kind of stops and this just
of course,
going.
yeah, of course, yeah. So the hips, and this is a very rough, everybody, are going to be going around 40, 45 degrees for you. 40 probably because you're flexible enough. Okay. This could be anywhere from 90, 95, 100, right? There's a separation occurring, that angle. The bigger that angle, the more potential stretch you have, right? Yeah. Now, if they both move back together, there's not much stretch. That's a big turn, but there is no disassociation, as you mentioned. I'm gonna just say there's a separation occurring. Okay. So yes, I get to here, and there's a certain point this stops, creates a little resistance, and this turns a little bit more. That is correct.
Okay. One thing I also realized with this turn, it kind of avoids this getting so open, because previously when I was doing it, I would just raise it up like that.
Yeah, so there'd be a rolling and a cheating, fanning of it, and now you can trust that the club is where it is and it just reacts to the body. I don't have to try to put it in position. So I agree with you. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, so our previous lesson when we were kind of talking about that other drill where that's like the wall drill.
Correct.
And then you're like staying on this.
That left butt cheek gets to there, yes.
When, I guess the transfer to the left butt cheek, like, is there any, like, I know, how do I explain this? Like the right butt cheek, it never like leaves that wall?
Oh yeah, certainly, get to impact.
I mean like, on the transition to this, is it like kind of like it's not like 1, 2, it's kind of like, is it like that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think maybe you want to feel like you stay deep a little longer. Maybe that's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
That's okay. But it, of course, has to come off eventually. Yeah. So I think what you just said is like, does it come like this? It's like, well, of course not. It comes, but it's off. Yeah. But maybe you feel like it.
Like more pressure.
More pressure. Yeah. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But I don't want you to. I don't want you to overcook that, because if I say, oh, I got to go here, I'm never going to rotate this way. So there's an old Sam Snead thing about squatting, right? And we now see it now in a lot of people that are working on squatting down, or he would talk about left knee separates from right knee, but you almost saw from this angle kind of like he just sat down, right? Mm-hmm. That's a good feeling, but eventually but then that right hip will come off of that. So we've had in the past, when it's popular, a ball here, or we could put a bucket here, and then we let this go this way, boom, we're firing, and then this comes here, right? I'm not necessarily firing both of them, even though in the past we have. It's a lot of it's feel-based. Okay. So it's a good question. Yeah. I'd be careful to go down the rabbit hole too much of, I got to keep this deep for a long time. So we can take it a step further and say, okay, I don't want to crush this, right? I would go back here and I would boom, and then, now that looks like a 2-piece swing, right?
Yeah.
But what we're doing is trying to keep somebody to kind of get grounded a little bit more in a good way of boom, and let it drop and come through.
Gotcha.
So we may get to a drill like that. I needed to wake up your lower body when we first met.
Yeah.
So I had to exaggerate for you to feel like your right knee went to your left knee. That was the feel. I would not say you've overdone it, so that's why I haven't backed off on it yet.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then even with that, the transferring of the weight is the same,
Exactly.
more or less. Okay.
Exactly. It's just going to feel like you're grounded a little bit more. I believe that footwork is super important for everything that happens above it. We've also discussed today kind of where the arm is and the rotation. Those are still kind of big picture stuff, aren't they? I didn't talk about club face being 1 degree closed or anything like that. That stuff will start to kind of clean itself up.
Yeah.
And then we can find what your pattern is. Oh, wow, I'm doing this really well, and I'm hitting too much of a draw. Okay, we make maybe a grip change, but I don't make grip changes until I see the other pattern start to develop, because you're in this for the long haul, not just, hey, I got to go play this weekend and break 90. Golf lesson might be different.
Yeah.
We're in it for the development of it. Okay,
Okay.
let's bring out driver. Okay. So here's where, again, big jump now. Longest club in the bag, widest stance that we're going to have. Let's admit, we want to hit the crap out of the ball. So people are going to try to increase speed. But sometimes they do it with the wrong muscle groups, right? Sometimes they're forcing it back to the hit mode instead of unwinding, right? You see these top players, and just unbelievable of how they unwind and how you think about the strongest muscles, right? Hips and butt and legs, let's use them.
Yeah.
But some people try to use their upper body way too much for something like this. Yeah. So before we put a ball there, I want you to brush the tee for me, full swing, with that same sensation that we've been working on with the lower body.
Okay.
Okay? Kind of inside right heel, kind of gets to that inside left heel as you come through. Okay, so you're going to feel probably more force, right? You're going to feel the club is going through faster, is it? Because it's a longer club. Now we're up to, what are you up to now? 115, 120, 130 club head speed?
Last one was 117.
117, right? So that club's moving.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we put a ball down, what would you rate the feet?
5.
5. Okay, where did it go off?
I think I'm just going so fast that it kind of got into here. Yeah, it just went like that. Okay, maybe.
So this is a practice swing, but we're brushing the tee. See, I don't think you went to the toe as much as you think, right? So that's right. We always have to have a little bit of checkpoint. Club's in a pretty good position, neutral.
Did I go too much on my right toe though, or is that?
Borderline, but it's not like you went this way.
Yeah.
It's not like you went that way. I mean, it was moving and then it eventually went. I'm going to still say that's fine. Okay.
Got it.
But what you initially said is, oh, I think I went to the left toe. That wasn't necessarily true with video. Now we could see on a force plate that it went there a little bit and then came back and you caught up in time. But again, the feel and reel is different. So now let's put a ball there. We of course are going to swing as smooth as we did before, right? There's no reason to. Come on.
Of course.
Mr. Smooth, they call you. So notice a touch more wobbling, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting at is that we build and build and build. I would say that there was some good stuff on the backswing for sure. We saw a little bit more force maybe go laterally on that one, and you had to kind of catch yourself, right? Now again, that shot might have been still be fine, and you go, oh yeah, I'm good, but we're trying to build that technical side where you can get into that side, into that left heel, no matter the speed we're at.
Yeah, I felt me going.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, driver is a little different, and those that know about ground force, we have some players, Cam Young, some other players that on the way down, their left foot is actually moving backwards. Boom, right? So that's what I'm saying is that force is going this way. You have, Scotty Scheffler has a lot of footwork that's moving all over the place, right? Yeah. But I want us grounded here and then getting into the side, and if I get so much speed that I have to move this a little bit, at least it's moving that way. You see what I mean? Yeah. You're not going to see a ton of players that are going towards the ball. They launch, or they release some of that pressure this way a little bit too, okay? So let's keep doing it. Same initial goal like we had even with the 5-iron.
I rushed that one. Maybe another one.
Back to rushing, is that an upper body rush or a lower body rushing?
Lower body rush.
Lower body was rushing?
I was like this and then I went like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you could say it rushed, which is a sequence thing, but it actually got you mechanically out of position, right?
Yeah.
I could rush this way and be probably okay, but once you rushed and the weight went here, that's when we were in trouble, right? Okay, so I just want to differentiate. There's players that can rush lower body and unwind.
Yeah.
Maybe they thin it a little bit, but you rushed it and then that got you out of position, correct?
Yeah.
Pretty quick, okay. Okay, how was the lower body?
7.
7, okay, great. So this is where you'll start looking at your path a little bit more, but setup looks great. You have spacing at setup. Pretty good takeaway, isn't it? All right, so we're in good position here. We're gonna feel loaded, and then as we make the transition, you're gonna sit into that left side. That would be a little higher than you would like to be at this position, which gets the club to be a little bit out to in, okay? Which we'll discuss in a moment. Some good stuff there, okay?
Yeah.
So it's, again, try to compartmentalize that for now, and then we see as you gain trust in that, what does that do to the upper and so on and so forth as we go. Okay, last one with the driver, please. Okay, how's the lower body?
Lower body, I was like 7 again.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like every time I mentally just lapse not thinking about the lower body, it ends up going like this again.
So that might be your default, right? And we would want to, that's where, if we identify as that's the miss, gosh dang it, sometimes I just do this too much. We can do flat foot drills. We can really feel grounded. We can do some where the foot doesn't come off the ground at all, so you can feel the ground for as long as possible. We can do that in step. We talked about kind of the goofiness of, you know, right knee, left knee, like you have 2 cymbals, right? I can't hit the cymbals if I'm like this, right? I'm right knee, left knee. There's ways to train in a different way. But everybody's gonna have their default of what feels comfortable, especially if you go, I didn't think about it, it's like, boop. But we're gonna keep training it as we go, okay? One more time.
And you're also like the connected here with every single club. Okay.
Definitely. I mean, again, that's where driver is going to stress all of those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
That club wants to fly this way.
Yeah.
And your arms might go like this. Well, yet we want to still feel we're connected enough to control that force from going there. I mean, there's been players, you know, the Nicholas and the Vijay Singh, they would go out a little bit more, but I think right now we see the modern players a little bit more connected through. They're covering the ball, they're rotating with that, and because you have that type of rotational speed, I'd like to see that stay connected.
Okay, yeah. I just, when I was like reviewing, my biggest miss before this pull is like it just getting way too open because I would like disconnect. And
right,
so.
and that's back to like, I'm trying to hold on to something and I'm trying to steer it, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, when we talk more about the mental side of the game, I want to free you up. I want you to swing with freedom, yet you still have to trust your structure and the mechanics behind it. So I'm seeing some good stuff there. So you may have a chunk of your practice time, let's say 45 minutes, just working on the footwork, just working on the ground force. Of course, start with the shorter clubs and then work your way up. I would hope it feels the same, but I know it doesn't, to go from 9 to 7 to 5 to driver, but still the same goals apply.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then we kind of go from there.
Okay.
Okay? Oh, I want to go back to a key distinction is you mentioned that at times the weight was getting, I'm going to exaggerate, outside right heel.
Back of my heel.
Yeah, right? So we don't play any sport from over here.
Yeah.
Right? So we just refined it to feel like it's braced a little bit. I mean, the leg can straighten out a little bit, but it's inside the foot. Like I mentioned, the baseball player pushing off the mound, off the rubber is here. It's not going to be here. So that was a key thing, I think, for you too, to make everything else work better.
Yeah.
Inside right heel, feel that pressure. Then, as again, right now we're going from here, a little off the instep, into the instep, into the heel. And I'm fine with when this toe comes off the ground. I think that's a good part for us to look at as we go through. If we found, for you drivers, where the weight went into the left balls of feet, toes a little bit, right? You kind of found yourself going that way. That was where your default went with driver. We want to make sure it feels like it still goes around you.
Gotcha. And then this is a wider stance for driver, obviously. The feel, would you say, like, I'm still going this, but is it more like a longer duration? I don't know how to say that.
Yeah,
like,
I guess it is. I mean, like I said,
because I have to
you have more space from here to here than you did with 9-iron.
Yeah.
So we want to close that gap.
Okay.
Okay, but your butt is still going to be over here. Boom.
Gotcha.
It's not going to go there to get it.
Okay. And then back to my initial question, I know you kind of said like the lower body is going to kind of alleviate it. It's just the casting move.
So the casting move is tricky because the 9 and 7-iron, I would not consider you having a casting of a swing, okay? Driver shows up more, I agree, and the driver goes out a little bit more, and we lose a little bit of that angle through here. I still want to address that through body stuff first, and then kind of go from it second, with what we talked about at the end of today with the tilt a little bit. If we tilt, it gets in a club in a position where we can then just go. If I don't tilt, right, I'm here, it's like, uh-oh, am I gonna go with that? We did that one drill with delivery positions here, and I just said turn. That's eventually where we're gonna get you to, is that the club is here, and I just turn. I didn't move my arm to do that. It just stayed in that position.
So you kind of still want me to, basically on my pier, just feel like I'm not really hitting the ball, meaning like going, like jerking it. It's still like kind of, I guess, light in a sense, and then and then just using the this to kind of get there. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely not in. People want to increase grip pressure and hit. We said no. It's, you know, I gave you that one device with the very whippy shafts, right? Yeah. Is to feel like it lagging behind us a little bit would be a good sensation instead of trying to hit it. Back to that.
And so, to kind of wrap this up in regards to like next steps when I'm like practicing.
Yes.
Should I just kind of focus on getting a bunch of reps with my lower body?
Correct. So you're the type of golfer who does practice a lot, which is awesome, yet we want to definitely compartmentalize that practice. So if you're going to go hit balls for an hour and a half, I know sometimes you do more, sometimes you do less, I would like you to chunk it, like 20 minutes just on lower body. That's it. 9-iron, 7-iron, 5-iron, yes, maybe a few drivers, but just lower body. Then take a break, get some water, take it, you know, and then maybe we talked a little bit about left arm position at the top, right? 20 minutes of that. Now you've done kind of what we call block practice on that, just one thing at a time. Now, the next thing I want you to do is start working more on routines and picking targets out and hitting shots and see how close. We talked about distance control. Pull out that 8-iron, you have a target 165 from you, great, let's see if you can hit it. And I want you to get into shots more than just swing. So I need 15, 20 minutes of some routine-based stuff. I want us to pick a target. I want us to honestly guess what club to use. Because you're gonna, like we talked about, you could fly it way over going, I hit it good. I go, yeah, but it's the wrong club by 3 clubs. You're in somebody's backyard. Doesn't matter how good you hit it. So we wanna keep working a little bit more now towards shots, pre-shot routine stuff we worked on, visualizing shots. Let's get into the play mode a little bit more too.
Okay, and then go play.
Really, go play, yeah. Okay, yes, go play.
Awesome.
Go play, have some fun, look at patterns, find shots that you go, I have no idea how to hit it. That's something we take you out of the golf course with, different lies, different slopes, and the stuff that you've been working on with Seekman with the short game. Let's put it into use.
Great. Thanks.
Let's go.